Let's bring in Terry Pluto, sports columnist for the Cleveland Plain Dealer. He's been around a long time. He's watched the good, the bad, and the ugly in the city of Cleveland, certainly with the Cavaliers. And he joins us now. Local reaction for John Beilein is what, Terry?
Really upbeat, I think. At least fans heard of him. They probably were fearful. Seriously, Nate Tibbetts or Jody Fernandez or all these guys. I mean, heck, I love basketball and this, and I'm like searching the internet on these people they're interviewing. Wes Unseld Jr. So I think that, and also, let's face it, he's in the Big Ten. You're in Big Ten country here. They watched Beilein beat Ohio State a whole lot. So, hey, why not?
Yeah, I'm there with you, too. I read your column with, that it might work. It's tricky with the Cavs and ownership there. And are they going to give him the amount of time that it would take for him? And usually with a coach in college, we wait for his first, true recruiting class to filter through. I don't know. Does he get that? I know he's got a 5-year deal, but how patient are they in Cleveland?
All right, Dan, let's put it this way. I just saw a survey done by a guy named Kip Wright. In the last 20 years, he went through all the NBA coaches. The average lifespan is 2.5 seasons. Okay. Furthermore, there have been 3 teams in the last 20 years that have had 12 coaches, and the Cavs are not one of them. They've had 11. So, okay, you sign for 5, and if you get 3, you're probably doing well. And I think that in this case, this is a Dan Gilbert choice too, big time. And he's a lot more committed to him than he would be, some of these other guys. Gilbert's a Detroit guy. He's a college basketball fan. He tried to hire Tom Izzo back in 2010. So I do think in that sense, at least he should get a few years. But none of these guys get very much time.
Well, the Cavs, you've been in the lottery here, and you've won 4 times in the last 16 years. I think we feel like it's a foregone conclusion, or the media wants Zion to end up in New York. But, if you're Cleveland, you guys are probably pretty confident about tonight.
Right. I mean, you got Nick Gilbert, that is a cool story. Nick, I think, has had 5 or 6 brain surgeries. He's dealt with all those tumors and everything. Dan Gilbert's son, he'll be there with his bow tie, and, hey, go for it. If they end up in the top 3, suddenly you've got a really good player coming this way. And I think the idea that the Cavs were thinking, too, and I wrote about this, a column that's now posted, is they got off of suddenly we got to have a young coach for a young team. And what about a guy who's been very successful coaching young guys? And they also looked at Beilein that most of his good players, these are not blue chippers, these are not McDonald's All-Americans, and he really did get them to play together and all of that. I kind of asked myself, would I rather have John Beilein drawing up plays at the end of a game or, frankly, an assistant I never heard of?
Kevin Love's future there is what?
I think actually it's fairly strong unless they get a really big deal for him. Here's why. They want to have Kevin Love and maybe like Matthew Dellavedova and a couple other, Larry Nance Jr., some of these other guys, just a couple, not a lot, but a few, to help usher in with these young people that they're going to be drafting or that they have right now, Colin Sexton, Cedi Osman, and furthermore to support the coach. That's what they want. They don't want to just go, total quote process, all young guys, let's lose every single game. They're at that point, that's what they're really looking at. And Love has wanted to stay. I heard again from somebody who knows Love well, he still doesn't want to be traded. It's interesting, but I think because the Cavs have supported him, remember through the panic attack stuff?
Yeah.
And then the injury. And it's funny that the first call the Cavs made after LeBron left was to Kevin Love. He's on the phone with them saying, let's stay, and if you want to work an extension, I'm open to it. It's fascinating to watch what's evolved with him. Unfortunately, you got to get him on the court. Here's an interesting thing. In the last, he had foot surgery, and then he came back. He played 16 games after that where he played at least 15 minutes. They went 7-9 with him.
Okay. We're talking to Terry Pluto.
I'm not predicting. I'm not hoisting any banners or anything here, but
Terry Pluto, the sports columnist for the Cleveland Plain Dealer. I'm curious from afar, looking at what's happening with the Lakers with LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
Your thoughts?
Oh boy, this is the first time where LeBron made a move where he didn't think it out. By that being, think about you went to Miami. They put together the AAU team. To make sure that worked, and it's kind of how you would do it. I don't mean total derision there, but these guys recruit their players and go in. When he came to Cleveland, he had a meeting with Dan Gilbert. I wrote about this in my book, The Comeback, and that how they sat there and they laid out how they could get Kevin Love, how much money they were going to have on the salary cap, other moves they could make. They talked about Mike Miller, all kinds of guys there. That was all set before he even came to Cleveland. So I don't know what he set up before he went to the Lakers. What, to get Rajon Rondo, Michael Beasley? What were they doing?
I don't know if and I agree. I don't know. I don't think it was thought out other than I'm going to Los Angeles.
Yeah,
and
the weather's good, and I want to be in the movies. I don't know. I mean, I don't mean that. And look, I've first interviewed LeBron when he was 15, and one thing you look, this guy's very calculating, and even here how he built and all the stuff you hear about with the LeBron James Foundation and those things. Anytime they had a little hiccup with that, they would fix it. And the charity work he's done in Northeast Ohio with his school, and that stuff's all real, Dan. Yeah. It's big time. That's why what's so odd about this. And now this whole Tyronn Lue thing, you bring him in, you don't even want to hire him, Tyronn Lue was the guy sitting next to David Blatt, knowing that if David Blatt failed, he'd get the job. Why does Tyronn Lue want to have Jason Kidd sitting next to him?
Yeah. And aren't the Cavs still paying Tyronn Lue?
Oh, yeah. The Cavs like to pay a lot of people not to coach.
But I was also wondering this, though, Terry, and I don't know if you looked at this, and maybe I read into things too much, but I looked at they were going to bring in Ty Lue. They wanted him for 3 years. LeBron has 3 years left on his contract. Right. Are the Lakers saying that they believe that LeBron will be done in 3 years with them, and therefore that's the only reason why? If LeBron had 5 years left on his deal, does Ty Lue get 5 years?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what they're doing. I mean, Frank Vogel for 3 years, and you want Jason Kidd. Well, just hire Jason Kidd.
I know.
I'm serious. I mean, I don't get it. And I was talking to some other executives, and they're kind of, some of the things I'm telling you is what they were telling me. It's like, well, if you want Jason Kidd, hire Jason Kidd. You can't just turn around when a guy Ty has 2 more years on his contract and then say, well, just give you an extra year, and even if it's just to match up with LeBron or whatever. Or if you don't believe Ty Lue is ready to coach, why are you talking to him? Because, the big issue here, people forget, Ty Lue was sick LeBron's last year. And by that, I mean, he missed 10 games with a variety of physical problems. And he wasn't feeling all that great even when this last season opened. He was feeling better than the year before, but there's some issues there too. So, but I don't know if I don't know what entered into anything with the Lakers. So, and then LeBron saying, I don't know why Magic left. I didn't hear a thing come. I mean, we'll talk to him.
Yeah, that was odd too, that you don't even reach out to him.
Yeah. I mean, find out what's going on. So it's just, let's put it this way. It will be interesting to see if they could bail out and they get Anthony Davis or whoever they get. And then it's really, I mean, the other thing that's funny from the Cleveland perspective is, Kyrie Irving walks in with 2 years left to go on his contract and says, I want to be the focal point of a team. I want to be out of here. In fact, if you don't trade me, I'm going to have knee surgery right now. And then he goes to the Celtics and finds out he can't be LeBron. And frankly, messed up all that good stuff that Brad Stevens had going there, because Cleveland fans got a very good look at the Celtics and how tough and unselfish they were in those different playoff series, without Kyrie. Kyrie is very gifted and really strange, and it's just it just is. I go back and think about, he got that, the Uncle Drew thing real early in his career, and All-Star Game MVP and that. But frankly, when they were here with him for 3 years, they didn't make the playoffs. And granted, the roster kept getting better, but it wasn't like you just felt like he could just carry them. I mean, it happened when 23 showed up.
I'll leave you with this. How big is Baker Mayfield in Cleveland?
Do you think he should have a supersized statue or just like a normal
just
statue?
Just a normal, just a life-size statue, I think,
I mean,
Terry.
it's huge. And to Baker's credit, I mean, he's played into the dog pound, the underdog notion, and he posts pictures of he's at the, some Make-A-Wish thing, or he's really done a good job of, tapping into how Cleveland fans see each other. And they're so desperate to win. And Dan, those last 8 games, they were 5-3. Wasn't that just that? They had a top, I think, as a 7th-ranked offense in the NFL with that.
It's going to be fun. I worry. I think it still comes down to Kitchens. Can he handle all of this?
Yes.
Because that's a big jump from where he was to now being a head coach, and you got a lot of personalities in there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of personalities.
I am totally on board with that. And you're also asking a lot out of your rookie quarterback, not so much on the field, but to handle Odell Beckham, Jarvis Landry, et cetera.
Yeah.
But I'll say this, John Dorsey, the talent he's infused in here. Like Nick Chubb's lost in the background. That guy is a heck of a running back. He really is. And, they've been adding defensive players. My view is always like, you got to beat the Steelers and win your division and have a winning record first before you talk about this other stuff. But at least this is the first year I think, they could beat the Steelers, and they got a really good chance to win the division.
Well, got to believe, right?
Hey, why not? I mean, it's either that or, by the way, this is also the year Derek Anderson retired, and that's the last time they had a winning record, 2007. It is. It just slipped on the wire the other day. Derek Anderson retired. Of course, I think a lot of us thought he had it years ago, but he was 10-6.
Yeah. See, that seems like a long, long time ago. Hey,
I always call that the Haley's Comet season. It sort of showed up out of nowhere and then disappeared.
Terry, good to talk to you again. Thank you. Good luck tonight.
You're welcome, Dan. Appreciate it.
That's Terry Pluto. Terry, longtime NBA guy, sports columnist for the Cleveland Plain Dealer.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.